Good YouTube, Chris here, and I know in the last video I said I was gonna upload more, and I totally lied about that, but we're just gonna ignore that. So, recently, RPG Maker with recently came out, I think a few months ago, and I've been waiting for this for a while. So, when I finally remembered that this came out, I was like, hell yeah. So, just like any other RPG Maker program, the UI is kind of ass sometimes. So, I'm going to be making some more tutorial videos like the other ones on my channel. So, if you guys want to check those out too as well, they're pretty easy to find. But I'm going to be making simple tutorials and kind of complex tutorials here and there when I come across the need to make one, and this is one of those cases. So in this video, we're going to be going over the text and how to make like a text event because, like I said, the UI is kind of stupid and it's not really explained very well. So we're just going to go into it. So you're going to want to create a new event. Going to hit L2 and create new event. So I already have one, but I'm just going to go through the basics here. So this is where you create the name of the event. So for this tutorial, we're going to make like a really basic um, text that would play at the start of your game, like a narrator or something like that. So we're just going to name this introduction text. So you can name it whatever you want. Images, don't worry about that. Movement, uh, don't worry about that. Priority, that's really up to you. If you want the priority of the text to be below the character, same, or above. Trigger is going to be, so if for this tutorial, like I said, it's going to be a little basic text prompt that shows at the start of the game right when you start it. So we're going to want this to be on auto run. So it's going to play right when the game starts. But this is really up to you if you want to either have to walk over the event or interact with it. But for this one, we're going to do auto run. Event details. So this is where we actually make the text. Okay. So I'll explain in a second what I meant by the UI was kind of stupid. But here, I'll go over to the one that we actually made real quick, which is right here. Gonna hit R1, go to the events in the top right so that we can actually edit this. So, boom, like I said earlier, introduction text, images, nothing here, auto movement, nothing here, priority stayed the same, trigger is on auto run, and the event details. So, like I said, this is where you create the text. So, for example, let me get rid of this real quick. How does one get rid of something? Okay, there we go. I'm still getting used to the controls here. Remove. There we go. Okay. Thought I almost deleted everything. Okay, so we're going to start with just the basic text part of this tutorial. So make whatever text you want. You can either include a character face here if you so choose, or whatever you want, but I'm not going to do that because, like I said, this is just kind of like a narrator type thing. So put the text at whatever you want, for whatever you're doing. This will be the name of the person speaking. And then the background, that's up to you whether you want it to be dim, transparent, or a window. And this is the position of where you want the window to be. So I have it on default as down. So next thing is going to be choices. This one particularly that I made does not have any choices that you need to pick. So yeah, this is pretty much the same as any other program. But if you're using With for the first time, it's pretty simple. But we might have to save that for a different tutorial. We're just going to keep this simple here. So you made the text. You put the name. Now, let's go into it real quick and click play. We're going to save changes to the game. All right, it says, welcome to the Lost Hope Early Alpha Test. While we get used to the new interface of RPG Maker with, this will basically become a game mechanics testing ground for us before we get into the meat and bones of developing this project. So my text is here, the name is here in the left of the text. It says we have over 1,000 hours in RPG Maker MV and MZ, so we are very excited to finally see this release so we could dive right into it. We highly encourage you to stay updated with this project and the lead developer's YouTube channel and Discord server. I had to plug the link right here, so there's that. Now, if you'll notice, the text just endlessly goes. And this is what I meant by the UI on with is stupid. And you'd think that they would, at this point in time, on the PS5, have something to make this easier, but they don't. So if we go to the editor here, to get that to stop looping, you need to go here at the end of your text. You can go all the way down to character and create erase event. And that will now end the text. So boom, there's that. I don't know why it's under the character tab. Um, that doesn't really make any sense, but whatever. And another thing that's really stupid about the UI is, like I said, we're on a PlayStation 5 right now. I shouldn't have to type stuff like this. So if we go into the text, you'll notice how I have to click. Oh, why can't I? Okay. Notice how I've clicked return a bunch of times? That is because if you don't do that and you do something like this, I don't even know if you guys can see this right now, but I'll show you in a second. If I don't, all right, there, I edited it. Oh, click preview. See how it goes off the screen? I don't know why it doesn't just automatically tab down or return down, but it doesn't. Like, what? Who designed this? What? Sorry, what idiot thought that was like? So basically, what I would recommend is when you're making these texts, is to write like a line of text, preview it, and see where you need to click return, and then click return at the end of the text line. Click preview, make sure it's not running off the screen, and then continue. I don't know why it's like that. Like, what? That doesn't make any type of sense. But whatever, you know? It is what it is. But it's still stupid, even though it is what it is. Anyway, that's the tutorial. I'm going to be making more of these, just kind of when I need to. And if you guys have any suggestions, this RPG Maker with program allows you to make multiplayer games, I believe. And it allows you to make games with your friends, no matter what platform they're on. So if you're on, I think this is, well, okay, I kind of lied there. I don't think this is on PC, but it is on console, it's on Switch, it's on PlayStation, and it's on Xbox. And it's crossplay between those. So you could make games with your friends, and I believe that you can also play games multiplayer, but I'm not sure. So anyway, when I figure that out, I'll also make a tutorial. So if you like this, if it helped you, leave a like, subscribe, and yeah, click the video wherever it's showing on the screen if you need more tutorials. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.